Alright, that's what's going on, guys. Chili Games back again. And, well, first of all, the game that you have behind this, is a Kutuzov game. I was trying to grind the last of those challenges, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to get them out of the way and play Kutuzov. And this ship is so stupidly overpowered. Oh, it's just not even fun. So enjoy that. What I'm going to be getting into today is the Bureau and my thoughts on it, and this whole legendary ship conundrum they kind of have going on. And I don't want to be downplaying it, and I don't want to be like sounding negative all the time, but it's just, and for one, I know it's early. Like the challenges and everything, like everything's going to get a little bit difficult. But just first impressions of the Bureau, like it's very, very boring, and it's not engaging whatsoever. I mean, you can, for your daily boost to help boost your progress, you can AI for 30 minutes a day and do that, and then never have to play another game. So it's just so, it's so boring. I keep coming back to that. So um, one thing that I wish that they had was there needs to be a lot more active progression. And I know next update we're going to be getting the patrons, and that's going to be, more, it'll help you increase your thing, whatever. That's still passive, so there needs to be active progression. What does that mean? Like for every battle, every ship, medals, wins, base XP, that needs to reward some sort of progression. Like if you win a game and you have 3,000 base XP, or any amount. It would just calculate it based on your base XP for a win. It needs to give you some sort of like research point. So be like, oh man, like I played the game, I won. That increased my, that would help. That would make me want to grind. Like if it were that way, then I would be playing, all day, because it's like, man, like I can get so much experience just by playing and trying to do well. And obviously, like probably have like a 15 game cap, because you don't want people playing. Obviously they want to string this out, so I'm trying to be reasonable. But right now, the Bureau is just an idle click button per day, and it's just so, it's so so boring. I'm not sure if any of you guys played Clash of Clans back in the day, but back when I was in middle school or so, Clash of Clans came out, and it was a mobile game, and they had a lot of, you had to build things, and it was a huge idle game. You had to get currencies, and then click build and upgrade your base, whatever. And I remember some of those times on the building process being like, it was like 2 weeks to build. Like it was like a town hall, like your main base. It was for like a level. There was 10 town hall levels, and like level 8 was like 2 weeks. So like you click a button, and you're just sitting there for 2 weeks, and it's just like, it's so boring. Like there's nothing to do in the meantime, because like you can't, like, there's no way to actively increase that time. Like you can't, and that's what I feel like with the Bureau. And like obviously, yes, I know, we're getting patrons, yada yada yada. The daily challenges are going to get more difficult. I don't think they will. I think they're just going to be increasing like the tiers. So instead, your daily challenges are probably going to be like, get a win in tier 7. I think that's how they're doing it. So I mean, I still think you're gonna be able to go in AI and just kind of like mindlessly complete these missions every day, and it just feels like such a chore. There's no, I don't know. The Bureau, I was talking with a guy in one of the Discords, and it's just like, for me, I love playing this game, and I love making content, so I'm always gonna be able to come back and like enjoy parts of it. But like, there has been some times where I've played the daily missions, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm done for the day. Like there's nothing else I can do, and I was so excited trying like to start grinding these legendary ships, you know, because it's like this is the guy made a good point. He's like, this is Legends in-game content, so you know this is it. I mean, compared to like tier 7, I remember when I first grinded Iowa. That was my, well, no, Kagero was my first tier 7. But I remember how long that took, and when I got the ship, or like when you get any tier 7, you're like, man, that was awesome. But because you played and you grinded, and the better you are, the quicker you can move through tiers, this kind of stuff. But right now, unless you pay to boost, which is extremely expensive, unless you pay to boost, everyone's on the same time scale, and that's just kind of, I don't like that. I mean, when you see a tier 7 ship, you're like, okay, well, this guy has definitely put some time into the game. Not everybody can put this amount of time into the game, you know. Even more so when you see somebody that has a global XP ship. Like if I see someone in the game like they're sailing the Alabama or whatnot, I'm just like, or the Prince William here right now, I'm like, all right, man, like 750,000 global XP is a lot of time into the game. Um, Also, it's more difficult because no one starts the game from zero and just starts accumulating them. So like, you've had to like be like, all right, I'm gonna grind for this from here on out, and I'm gonna do this. So when you meet somebody that has a global XP ship, you kind of like, all right, man, like I need to play accordingly because this guy obviously has played a lot of the game. So now with the legendary ships, when they start coming out, it's going to be like, all right, well, has this guy played the game a lot? I mean, this is an in-game ship here. Like, how do I know if this guy's good or not? Well, you're not really going to be able to unless you see the people that'll have it early. You're just going to be like, all right, well, he paid money for it. So I just think that when it just kind of ruins the whole legendary feel. It's like, oh, well, like you didn't really earn that. We all just kind of like waited and clicked a button for these to come out. Like you didn't have to demonstrate any amount of skill really to obtain the in-game content, and that's just kind of, I don't know. It's definitely a step down from the global XP ships because that is definitely in-game content. And when you see one like that, it's like, all right, this person's good, or at least something above average. But legendary ships, nah, it's just a huge waiting game, and that just really, really kind of bothers me because there's nothing going to be separating like the people that are, I guess, good. Like there's no way for skill to increase your. Actually, this is a beautiful moment. I thought I was gonna get slapped here, and I was gonna be really upset. Anyways, there's no way skill can increase your bureau research. It's just we're all on this. We're all in this little time thing, and we're just idly sitting here. I play the 3 AI map or the AI games to complete the dailies, and that's it. And I don't know. I mean, for me, it's just a very boring process. Considering what it is right now, I would have much rather preferred, an actual grind. Say like just add them on to the tech tree ships, and if you have elite XP, then it doesn't count for this grind. Make them like 300,000, I think. So tier 6 to tier 7 is 200,000. 210,000. So like make the legendary ships like 300,000 XP after that without any elite XP. So when someone unlocks it and if someone's playing the Yamato, I can be like, all right, man, like this guy has grinded 300,000 global XP or so with the Amagi. He's definitely demonstrated skill to get this ship. And like right now that's kind of just like not gonna happen. It's like, all right, well, there's an Alaska over there. on the enemy team. Well, it's like, do I know if he's good? It's like, no. It's like, I can't tell. It's like, because we all just kind of waited to get this. So literally everyone's going to be able to get this thing. And as you see here, the game is getting pretty dire. We're actually losing somehow. I played this super aggressive in the middle at B. I could have easily gotten slapped, but it's just like with this thing having a heal now and having its damage, like you're really not scared of many things, you know. Obviously, if there was a battleship focusing me, but like I just waltzed in there and waltzed out of B, like it was nothing. Now there's a Vladivostok behind me. I don't know. Kutuzov is Kutuzov is Kutuzov. Yeah. So my thoughts on the bureau right now is just very kind of like it's very boring, and it doesn't reward it does not reward people that play the game. It basically just says, hey, like, come in here and do these teeny tiny daily missions to edge off like half an inch of this entire mile of a research grind, and or you can pay $150 to, you know, almost half the research time. It's just, you know, I can't pay the $150, but I would like to think that with my skill, I should be able to, you know, be able to actively research faster because of how I perform in the game and whatnot. But there's just none of that. You know, you're all just locked behind like a little paywall if you want to make this faster, and it's just quite boring. And I think a lot of it has to do with, you know, they released these ships. You know, they did the update as like the legendary update, oh, the big update, you know, and there was a little bit of hype around it. I was hyped for it, and it started off where it's like, well, like, legendary update came out, but we didn't even, it was only the introduction of the bureau, so it wasn't even like a legendary event. You know, then we had to wait a week to even start the legendary upgrades, and we still can't even see the legendary ships in the port. So it's like, how am I supposed to get hyped for something I can't even actively look at in my port? Like, I want to see how badass these things look, but it's like, even then, even after this legendary update, it's going to be 2 months before you probably see one of these things. I mean, obviously you're going to have people that boost it, but the legendary update, all the hype is coming like 2 months after the actual update, and it's just kind of like being spoon-fed content. And the bureau, I don't know. I don't like being put on a time scale with everyone else. I feel like skill should be able to propel you faster. If you can perform well in certain tiers of games, then that should be, you know, 3,000 base XP equals, you know, blank amounts of research, and you can do that. You can win 10 times a day, and it count towards research. You know, just something like that. But you know, other than that, I probably just ramble. It's just I want to get on board. I think the process. I think the bureau is neat, but there's just, it's all passive. 99% of this legendary ship grind is passive, and you know, it's no, anyone who gets these ships, you can't guarantee that they know anything about the game other than they clicked a button and, you know, did some AI missions to get these ships. So I don't know, that's gonna be the end of this game, and my rant, I guess. Let me know in the comments what you think. And if you see here, this is actually a really good game in terms of base XP. 205k, not the best, but almost 5,000 base XP. So that was quite the humdinger there. So I appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good one. Take it easy.